I've been having a lot of fun creating amazing DIY gifts with the holidays right around the corner. So when I was at the store the other day, I saw these beautiful hexagon marble tiles and I just knew I wanted to use them on a project. I love using marble with wood. It's absolutely gorgeous, makes great serving dishes. So we're going to create a tray, and it is the perfect project for my X-Carve from Inventables. So I partner with them to create this idea. Now what I'm going to be doing is inlaying these beautiful marble tiles into the top of a tray. And I'm going to use the X-Carve to carve out those pockets. Then we will carve out some beautiful handles for the side. It'll make an amazing bar gift or even just a serving tray, decorative tray that could be on a coffee table. I'm really excited. So first though, before we get started carving the beautiful pieces of walnut that I've already glued up and have drying, I need to test out the size of the hexagon that I created in easel, make sure I have the proper size and depth to perfectly fit my tiles. So let's get started. I'm really happy with the tester. It was a little bit of a tight fit, but that's what I want, and it is perfectly flush with the top of the wood. So I am ready to move forward with my design. I've prepped my piece of wood and it is cut out to the exact size I want my tray. I'm not going to be carving the shape of the tray with the X-Carve, I'm just going to be doing all of the little inlays. Created my design, which is just a random smattering of hexagons, kind of in a beehive style. And I have put my 1/8" straight cut back on the router. So now I get to get going. So I've completed the first carve on my inlay tray. And the edges, as you can see, where it was a diagonal to the grain of my wood are a little bit rough, but that's okay because I used the 2-bit feature for this carve because I wanted a 16th bit to get really nice corners to make the shape of the tile fit nice and tight in there. But to route out all of this would have taken forever with that small bit. So I used a 1/4" bit to do the whole rough-in, and now I'm going to swap it out to that 16th upcut bit, and that's going to give me a nice clean edge. It's the same thing that I did for the tester piece, and then I'll be ready to start setting in tiles. Okay, I've cleaned all of the little carved out pieces out, given it one more nice little sanding, and now I'm ready to start inlaying these tiles, and I am crossing my fingers and toes that they all go in as well as they did on my test piece. I'm a little frustrated because they're not going in as smoothly as my test piece did. Now with the test piece, it just took a couple taps and they went right in. And I'm guessing, well, I mean, I knew they would all be slightly different sizes. They are natural stone. But I'm having to pound them in, and I've actually got one that totally crumbled, and it was my favorite one too, which is a big bummer, and on the edge. And then I've got a couple that have cracked a little bit or chipped out. So I would recommend definitely being a little more generous on your sizing on this. You can always glue these in case they are too loose, but having to pound them in is not great for the marble. So it looks like I'm keeping this DIY gift tray for myself, and I will definitely put it to good use. But I am going to still finish it, just knowing that on a second version, I would definitely give yourself a little bit more tolerance on the size of your tiles. Okay, I've added all of my tiles to the board, and I took a little bit of a break because things weren't working out. exactly how I'd hoped. But coming back to it, it really does look fantastic. It's not as smooth as I'd hoped. And obviously I've got these little chip tiles. So I've mixed up some white epoxy. I'm gonna put it in this one that I'm really sad about losing to try to at least save it. It's really hard to remove these tiles. So I'm just gonna try to add this in. Then I'll cut out the handles on my X-Carve and we'll finish the assembly. Okay, the final step to finish off our tray is to attach the handle. So I carved out these designs and they are just going to attach to the side there. It'll make it so you can pick up and move around the tray as you need. And I don't think I'm gonna trust just glue on the ends of these. So I pulled out my doweling jig and I'm just gonna put a couple dowels to give this just a little bit more support, hopefully, and then this thing will be ready for oil. I did a little sanding after I took the clamps off of the handles, and it is looking amazing. You know what? It's not perfect. It definitely isn't as perfectly smooth as my tester tile, and there are some places like my crumbled tiles that I added the epoxy to help fix, but it still looks amazing, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's a great learning experience for my next tile inlay tray. But I know this is just gonna look amazing. I'm gonna seal it up with some tung oil sealer and enjoy the handmade quality of this one. So if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more DIYs. And you can always follow along with me at housefullofhandmade.com for even more DIYs and gifts for you to give this holiday season.